Okay, welcome you guys to tonight's team call. It is September 6th, 2016, and I want to give a little bit of recognition, and you may have already seen it on Facebook. I'm going to share my screen because it makes it a little easier and it's more fun to see it. Oh, but it's not showing my, here we go. Okay, so for August, can everybody see the Success Club report? Yeah. Okay. Thumbs up. Okay. You guys, we had like awesome month. It was Team Cup month. So I think everybody really rallied and connected with more people. We had some fun challenge groups. It was awesome. So I want to give a big shout out to Sindel, Success Club 21. Holy crap, that's awesome. And it seemed like a lot of those came in right at the end of the month, right? Just showing that like you don't give up. Not that you, but we had that challenge that started and you just kept connecting. And what I love about seeing like numbers like that is that it's not about the number, it's about the person. And sometimes it's easy to be like, okay, I hit Success Club 5, so I'm going to wait for next month because I want to make sure I hit Success Club 5 next month, you know, and I don't want to. So I love like seeing when people are just continuing to invite and share and grow and not hold back because of next month. So awesome job, Sindel. Obviously, awesome job, Kendra, Ashley, Christy. And I think, Christy, you have Success Club 14, right? My office is wrong, I think. Right?
Oh, but yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So we think it's 14, which is awesome. 12 is still really awesome. And then for the Success Club 5 or the Changing Lives Club, 5 plus was Andy, Kelsey, Amber, Sarah, and Renee, which is also really awesome. And then we had the list even higher for those that just hit a Success Club point or helped at least one person. So we have Jessica Sherman, April, Angie, Lori, Jennifer, Brendan, Nicole, Steve, April, Christina, Catherine, Michael, Kimberly, Lori, Grace, and Brittany. So awesome job to everybody. And then we also have a new diamond on our team, which is Amber Huber, which is awesome. So congratulations, Amber. And that means Kendra's 1-star qualifying, which is awesome as well. So it's just fun to see your teams grow, and it's exciting. So congratulations, you guys. And then I was thinking after we go over the call, Sindel, I know you listen to the National Wake Up Call, and I'm putting you on the spot. If there's anything you want to share, just kind of a brief, like what it was about after I'm done with the presentation, that way, if anybody has to pop off, they can. And then any announcements after that as well. Does that sound okay? My Voxers aren't sending. I did message you. But anyway, okay, or Christy as well. Okay, so we'll get started. So tonight I wanted to talk about, expanding your network. And I'm really sorry if you guys can hear police cars. They were jackhammering outside. So sorry in advance if you hear all that behind me. But tonight I want to talk about expanding your network. And I hear from a lot of coaches, and I have the same things when I first started coaching was, I don't know anyone, or I don't have a lot of Facebook friends. I've invited everybody that I know already, and I don't have anybody else to invite. Maybe you're a very private person and you don't want to use social media to connect with people. You don't want people to know about it. or grow publicly. But this call is really going to show you some ways that you can connect with people outside of that. And coming into this, just so you know a little bit more about me, I am shy in group settings. If I get one-on-one with someone, I can talk a lot. But in group settings, I'm really shy. I would classify myself as an introvert. It's really easy for me to connect with people on social media, but I get nervous when I'm talking with other people. And honestly, coaching has really helped me grow in that way. I definitely am, losing some of those tendencies, but you can't use that as an excuse. You just can't use it as an excuse, because I'm proof. And I know a lot of other coaches who are proof that you can still build a business and be shy and be an introvert, or live in a small town with 5 people, or live on a farm. I mean, you can connect with people across the United States. It just depends on what you're willing to do. It's basically whether you do it or not. It's not a matter of if you're an introvert or you're shy, and you got to get out of that. So just to give you kind of a brief overview of what I'm going to cover tonight, there's 3 different types of people that you can connect with. So I'm going to share that, where you can make new friends, 4 steps for connecting with new friends, and then I'm going to give you some examples of quality questions that you can ask when you're actually connecting with these people, and then an assignment, so to take action. Okay, truth. A happy, excited person is a magnet for excellent people, and excellent people are exactly who you want to find. So this was from the Miracle Morning for Network Marketers, and it really hit me. I think that before we start and get into this, it's important that you really evaluate yourself. You attract what you're putting out there. If you walk around with your head down, if you aren't kind to people, if you're not friendly when you see people that you know, that comes off that way. And sometimes we may not even feel that we are that way. Sometimes being shy makes you appear being, not very nice. And so I think it's important to evaluate really where you are. How do you act in public? Do you talk about people? Do you gossip? Really dig deep. So I want everybody to just take a minute and to just evaluate yourself. What are some things that you can improve on when you're out in public, or even on social media when you're connecting? When somebody says no to you, how do you react to that? Do you continue the conversation, or you just quit talking to that person? So I'm just going to give you like 30 seconds to kind of evaluate yourself. We all have room to grow. I have so much room to grow. So this isn't like a shame on you. This is, how can we get better as people? Because that's what coaching does for us, is we just grow and become better people. Okay, so I'll stop you. You obviously don't have to share. It's more of just something to think about. But then I'm going to go into the 3 types of people in your network. And so I'm going to obviously dig deeper into these. So there's the people you already know. There's people you're going to find through attraction marketing. And then there are people that you're going to meet by being social and making new friends. So you're kind of initiating that conversation. So we'll start with people you know. If you haven't already, or even if you have, I encourage you to download and print in the online back office the memory jogger. And you've probably heard of it before, and you're probably like, oh, I don't need that, or oh, I did that when I first started coaching. This is something that you should continually go back to and keep making a list. Because I can tell you, when I first started, I discounted people. And I was like, oh, they're never going to want to join. I'm not even going to put them on my list. Like my doctor, I would never put my doctor on my list when I first started. This goes through more than you can even imagine. So these people that you know, it's going to be your parents, your friends, people you work with, people at church, neighbors, a babysitter, people from networking groups. It goes into lists that you already have. So how you can pull your Facebook list, your wedding invite list. If you got married, like going back to that list, those are all close people to you. People with fitness or financial interests. So if you know that somebody's job searching or they're looking for, a part-time career, or somebody that's competitive or ambitious, it doesn't have to be somebody that you know really well or somebody that you've connected with recently by any means. I mean, I've connected with people that I haven't talked to in a really long time. But I encourage you to go through this, because even if you've done this before or you're an experienced coach, add people to that list and never, ever, ever discount someone. It's usually the people that you never expect to join you that will. Or if you think, oh, that person already has a great job, she's an attorney, like she's already making a lot of money, she doesn't have time for this, like don't discount that person. I think of, is it Christina Delgado? She's an attorney. Everybody thought her life was perfect, but it wasn't. She wanted something more. So never discount someone. So make a list of 100, and then the next piece of advice that I can give you is to own it. So you're a coach, right? Do you share that with people? When somebody asks what you do for a living or what are you up to these days, do you share that? Or do you just say, I work in marketing, or I'm a nurse, or, you have to own this and make this part of your identity. So I shared a quick, I just started this new business. I'm helping people reach their health and fitness goals. I share my journey, recipe tips, all that kind of stuff. And I found that it really works for me. I've lost so many pounds, or maybe it doesn't have to be pounds. It could be I've just become really more confident. It's just made me more happy. My marriage is better. I just really want people to feel the same way. So I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. Share that with people. Do openly share that. Have kind of a 1 to 2 minute elevator pitch ready to go. And the first few times that you say it, you'll probably stumble and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. But it gets easier and easier, and you just kind of share and share and share, and you get that down. But you should be prepared to say something, because otherwise, how's anybody going to know what you're doing? Okay. The next piece is attraction marketing. So, number 1, is your profile public? If your profile isn't public, people aren't going to be able to find you, right? And if you reach out to somebody, maybe your last name has changed, and you reach out to somebody and they're like, I don't know if I know this person. And they go to your page, they're going to have a really hard time seeing who you are, what you're up to, before they accept your friend request if your profile isn't public. So make sure that your profile is public, and then go in and make sure that you have a photo of yourself as your profile photo. So make sure it's not a cat, or make sure it's not, I always think of cat for some reason for this one, I don't know why. Maybe it's a really small picture of your family where they can't even see you. Make sure that your face is present in that picture. You can be with your family, that's fine, but just make sure that it's a clear photo where it's not really far off. And then it's clear that it's your family as well. Another piece of attraction marketing is referrals. Are you asking people after your challenge groups, or even before a challenge group start, do you have any friends that you think would be interested? This gets missed a lot, and I think that we sometimes feel like we can't ask this, but there's a reason why these people are joining you. It's more fun for them when they invite a friend along the way. They may find 3 people, and you might want to encourage them to sign up as a coach so they can get everything covered. another great piece for referrals or to get more referrals is to offer an incentive. So if you have a past challenger refer someone to a group, give them a gift card somewhere, like recognize them for sharing that, especially if they don't want to coach. And don't just put this in your challenge group as a post. You have to actually reach out and ask that person personally. Another way for attraction marketing, so that's when you're attracting people to you, is through freemiums. And I just set up a freemium, must have been on August 25th. It's super simple. It was a free meal planning printable. And I set it up on Lead Pages, which is something you have to pay for, but you can use like MailChimp or something like that. But it's when you give something away for free, asking for nothing in return that you think people would want. What is something that you're good at doing? Whether you're really good at meal planning, whether you're really good at cooking, you've got some great paleo recipes or great salads, or maybe it's completely not fitness and health related. That's also awesome because you're connecting with people that have similar interests as you. So maybe you're a master at teaching your kids to potty train. Like, that'd be an awesome thing that you could connect with so many new moms. And it doesn't have to be anything intense or simple or perfectly done, but it's a great way to attract people to you. It's just making sure that you follow up with all of those people that you receive their email address to, or however you decide that they're going to get it. And if you have questions about how to set up a freemium, if you're wanting to do one, just reach out to me and I'm happy to share that with you. And the free way to do it too, if you don't want to use Lead Pages. Facebook like pages. So obviously, we don't encourage you to start a like page until you're prepared to be able to post 3 times a day or pay for ads. This is an awesome way to connect with new people. If you're in this for the long haul, then now's the time to get a page going. Ads are awesome. This right here is a sponsored post. So I sponsored this. You can see I have $5 left. I think I paid $15 and it's reached 4,600 people. So Facebook advertising is really cheap right now, but you can, if you have an awesome post or you're posting about a challenge group, you can pay for advertisements that way. Or you could just advertise your like page. And then when you get a new person that likes your page, that's when you reach out. And you'll see an example. I'll be sharing some examples later of what I say to those people when they like your page. Okay, the third way is to be social and make new friends. And obviously, where can I make new friends? Social media, duh, right? But before I touch on social media, I do want to say, like, you can meet new people in person, and I think that's even more powerful. So it all goes back to, for me, I have to really work at this. Like, when I walk in the park in the morning, I could meet so many people. And my husband, I probably drive him nuts because on the weekends, I'm like, oh, let's walk really fast. I don't know if I want to talk to those people. Like, it's not that I don't want to talk to them, but it's because I'm shy and I don't know what to say. And I get nervous in those types of situations. So it's about getting outside of your comfort zone and doing it. So that's what I've learned to do. I've made so many friends in the park with my dogs because I've got outside of my comfort zone and I talk to people. So if you're on an airplane going somewhere, don't just hop in your headphones and get in the zone. Like, spend a few minutes talking to someone. You never know, this person could change your life. Who cares if they don't coach or they don't join a challenge group? They could change your life. That is all about connecting with people and growing as maybe you're awesome, you're an extrovert already, but I totally encourage you to just put yourself out there and meet one new person every single day. But we'll go back to social media because that's where most of us meet new people and what I'm going to be covering tonight. If you do meet someone in person, it's important that you follow up with them, connect with them, ask them, hey, are you on Facebook? Perfect. You don't have to talk anything health and fitness related. They're going to start following you if you add them as a friend, and they're going to be curious, and who knows where that could go. So connect with them on Facebook and then follow up. So make sure you add them and then you message them a day later or 2 days later or whatever. So digging deeper. Okay, so when you're on social media, how do you find new people? There are so many different sites that you can use. I didn't include on this Snapchat, which is also a big new one. But I didn't include it mostly because unless I'm unaware, it's hard to meet new people on Snapchat. Snapchat is more about connecting with your current audience and helping them get to know you better. So people that are already in your network. So as far as expanding your network, you don't want to just be working on Snapchat because you're going to only have this one audience. You won't be growing it. You'll tap out. You'll have connected with everybody on there, and then your audience will be gone. So it's important that you have somewhere else that you're growing your audience. So Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, find one to start with that you can really master, one or two, depending on how much time you have. Don't feel like you have to get involved in everything. Someone may be really awesome at Instagram and think that it is the best thing ever, and this is where you're going to connect with so many people. But if you're better on Facebook or you're better on Pinterest, stick with that. Don't do something just because somebody else is doing it. Okay, so pick something that you enjoy, and then what do you genuinely want to learn more about? So evaluate your life. What are you going through? So for me, I'm going to be a new mom. I'm pregnant. I'm traveling abroad to specific places. These are awesome areas for me to connect with new people. So joining pregnant ladies group. I think I'm in one right now that's like due during a specific month. You guys, there are groups. If you just search in the search bar, don't join a ton of groups because that will make it confusing. Pick one, stick to it, and meet people there. If it doesn't work, then join another group. But maybe you have a specific kind of dog. Go to that group. The key here is that you're connecting with somebody and you already have something to talk about and to start a conversation with. So think about, what do you genuinely want to learn more about? What hobbies or interests you have that's very similar? And then what advice are you looking for? So here, maybe you're wanting to, like Whole30. Like a Whole30 is like the book. You're wanting to learn more about the Whole30 and how to make it through the whole month. Or paleo. Or for me, it would be like, what types of things do I need on my registry? I want to have a give and take relationship with somebody. I don't want to just reach out to somebody and be like, here, I can help you with this, this, and this. I want to have a relationship with somebody where I'm also learning from them. So make sure that you're also using those conversations as a moment for you to learn from them as well, because you're going to grow a stronger relationship when it's not just one-sided. Here, I'll give some examples that I wrote down. So for hobbies or interests, maybe you're into photography, DIY, you have a favorite TV show. So if you're on Twitter and the Real Housewives is on, or one of those shows, it goes up crazy when those shows are on. So that's a great way to meet people that also like the same shows as you. And sometimes you can find people that are very similar, or a specific type of music. So for advice, like for me, it would be registry, or maybe being a city mom. Maybe it's being a farmer's wife, or a nursing group, new nurses, moving tips if you're moving somewhere, potty training. There's so many different things that we all probably need to learn about depending on where we're at in our life cycle. Okay, so the 4 steps of connecting. This is key to remember because, what is key? It's like a first date, one step at a time. So would you go on a first date with somebody and be like, so how many kids do you want to have? Like, no, you would not ask that question, right? And if you did, they'd be like, creeper, stay away from me. Like, I do not want to talk about having kids on the first date. Unless you both happen to be that serious with people, like, it's probably not going to work and you're going to scare that person off. Same goes with coaching. You're not going to connect with somebody and be like, oh my goodness, I think you'd be an awesome coach. You should look into what I do, right? You don't do that. You got to get to, this is like people that are outside of your network. So, right, they're new people. If you're connecting with people that you already know and you have a relationship with, different scenario. These are new people, right? So the first step is to comment, compliment, question. CCQ. You've probably heard that before. I think it's Joelle Matson. I think that's her new last name. I can't remember what her maiden name was. She kind of shared this strategy. So you don't need to message someone and have a really long message. You just do a comment, compliment, question, and you'll see that in some of the examples that I'm going to be sharing in a second. Then you go into asking general questions, which I'll also be sharing more information about. Don't get too personal right away, right? Once you have spent time and you've built a trust and the communication is going back and forth, then you ask those personal questions. Maybe it's about if they were talking or they brought something up about their finances or looking for a job, something along those lines. Then you ask those personal questions. And then when the time is right, you ask the have you ever considered. So what are you inviting this person to? A challenge group or a coaching opportunity? That comes last. The key here is to not rush a relationship, right? So you have goals that you set for yourself every single month, right? When you're starting to connect with someone, they should not be the person, unless the opportunity arises, that you're going to invite to that challenge group that month, right? Because the most important thing is that you're reaching out to these people with no expectations. You genuinely want to get to know them better. So evaluate who you're connecting with now, and are you having those authentic conversations where you're not expecting something in return? So quality questions that you can ask. I'm just going to briefly go through this, and I'll share the slides. What have you tried in the past? So whatever topic you're talking about. So I've been talking with someone about nursing and breastfeeding because she shared her advice and we went back and forth and it made me really nervous. And so I was honest with her. So what has she tried in the past? Have you always been into health and fitness? So if this is someone from a health and fitness group, when are you due? So pregnancy, or when is your wedding date? These are quality general questions. What is your best advice for registry items? Or what is that one piece that you have to have that you couldn't live without? Would you rather work out at home, or do you prefer working out at a gym? You know, it just depends on where your conversation is at. Or what would you recommend? Okay, so these are conversations that I've had with people. This is all one, and this is a more recent one, and this is a new person. I've cut her name out just because I want to keep it private, obviously. But this was someone who liked my page, and she accepted my friend request. So I just said, hey, I just wanted to thank you for following my page and accepting my friend request. I love connecting with positive, like-minded people. I always start with that. I usually always start with that if it's someone from my like page. And then I say something personal. Your little guy is adorable. How old? You know, when somebody, if you have kids, I don't really know, but if somebody asks you about it, I would think that you'd want to answer, right? Because you're like, yeah, my kid is adorable. So she answered. So you ask questions that people want to answer. She answered, it was all positive. I asked her about being a new mom. I shared a little bit about myself, and I should go back to this first post so you can see the CCQ. So it's a comment. I wanted to say thank you, right? Like-minded people. Your little guy is adorable. That's a compliment. How old? Question mark. Short and simple, right? You want to be more interested than you are in interesting. So your conversations can be super short. And then we went through this conversation, and you can go through this later. But I just was genuinely curious. Like, I was like, man, this woman is awesome. Like, she is answering my questions. She is sharing her heart. Like, we've got a lot in common. I like this girl. And so I asked her, she's going back to work because she's a new mom. And she doesn't want to go back. She shared with me that she didn't like her job. This is like the perfect conversation, right? How could I not? I liked this girl, and I put ... because there's tons of conversations in there that are missing. I just couldn't include it all, and it would bore you. But how could I not invite her to the coaching opportunity? But this conversation started in August. I didn't ask her a week later to be a coach, right? I asked her in September, right? So I let the conversation take its pace. And I asked her about coaching. I shared a little bit about it, and I'll share this with you so you can read more into it if you want to, if it helps in any way. I just typed. It came from the heart. It wasn't from a script. And she said she didn't know. She'd have to think about it. What exactly are the details? And that's when I don't want to vomit on her, like all the details. I invited her to our team sneak peek. Okay, so here's other conversation starters. This is the same one that I shared before. The first one is, these are all different. How are you? This is from a group. She liked the same church as me. And she gave a review. So I was like, awesome. We have so much in common. Like, I love connecting with other Christian women. So I asked her about that, and I asked her about her photography. And then this was from connecting with someone specifically within a group. So when you're like, this was just so can you see my cursor? I hope so. Can you? Thumbs up? Okay. So this one right here is a different one. And I was in a group who was pregnant, in those who are pregnant or due in February, right? So I commented on a post that she had in the group. I messaged her question on the comment board. I shouldn't say messaged. I commented on her thing, asked her a question, and then I sent her a friend request, right? So I've already liked something and commented on something she has. So when I send her a friend request, she knows who I am. And then I just said, I figured it'd be easier to message you. This is my first, how about you? Okay. So you've already established who you are by commenting and liking on something. And then you bring her into a real conversation. So you can actually have it private and get to know them better and through a message. And then this is just a random one, right? So when you friend somebody and it's random, but this girl had awesome style, and I was like, I love that white dress. So I wanted to know what it was. And the funny thing was, is she replied back and she's like, oh my gosh, that sounds like something I would exactly do. I would message someone about her clothes as well if it was something I liked, right? So we had a conversation from there. So those are just examples of things you can start conversation with. It can be overwhelming. But I want you to just think of it as, what if you just met one new person a day, right? You connected only one. Don't make it overwhelming. Connect with your current market or people that you know, the other two if you're doing 3 people a day. But what if it was just one person each day that you could establish a genuine relationship with? Because otherwise it gets overwhelming. So think of it that way. Just try to connect with one person each day. There's so many ways. I gave you so many examples of how to find new people. And here's the thing. You never know who's going to join you. So never decide for someone else whether a challenge group or coaching is right for them, right? We have a gift. There's a reason why we're all here. Why would we not want to share that with somebody? And it's exciting to see who sees the immense possibilities and freedom. I think it is so fun when, you're going to have coaches or people that join and they're excited and they say they're excited and then they just leave, right? That's normal. That is so normal. That happens to me all the time. You know what? It's exciting is when you meet somebody and they are excited and want to run with you. And so you have to expand your network and you have to be continually meeting new people if you want that to happen. It's a numbers game. It really is. And it's so fun. And I don't know what I would do with like this group of women and men. We've got some men on our team too. It's awesome. So I just encourage you to reach out and meet new people. And yeah, does anybody have any questions? Oh wait, I didn't give you the assignment. Okay, hold on one second. I had one more slide. Okay, so take action. So number 1, self-evaluate. Who are you around other people? Number 2, complete the memory jogger. Number 3, ask yourself, I mean, these are all really quick. Ask yourself, what are you interested in right now? Your life right now. What is one area that you could connect with people on? Don't pick a ton or it gets overwhelming. One area. Be bold and then start reaching out to new people consistently. Because there will be a point when you feel like, I mean, I still haven't gotten through all of my warm market, but there will be a point where, or maybe you don't want to reach out to your warm market. You're not ready for that yet. You want to reach out to new people. So there will be a point where you will get tapped out, where you'll feel like that. So you have to continually be growing your network when you start coaching, you know? Okay. Sorry, Christy.
Well, that's okay. I'm like, I've been doing so much wrong.
Yeah, right.
No, I mean, I feel like I have a million questions. That's probably going to take our own individual call, but I love, I mean, so much of what you said, and I feel like there was so much in there. So I think this is a good one, you guys, to make sure you're rewatching as well. Like save it somewhere, the link, and go back and rewatch it because this is really good stuff, Kate. I wanted to say that I struggle with, when you asked us like to evaluate, that I need to listen more. That was one of the things you said. I know we're not like actively listening, but talk a little bit less, and really maybe look at what they're saying. I think you do a good job of really figuring out what it is they're saying, even if they're not saying it directly to you. And I had a question. How do you like determine, like that one conversation, it was super long in terms of like it started in August and we're in September, and I have a lot of really good conversations, but a lot of times it's, you know, a lot within like maybe a 24-hour period, and then that doesn't get brought up, and then I get kind of excited. So usually I have tried to do it within the month, so that I'm still kind of fresh on their minds.
Mm-hmm.
How do you keep it so that it's like ongoing? Because even if I'm genuinely interested, at some point we both are just like, this lady, you know what I mean? Like, what are we continuing to talk about? So how do you best like keep that strung along? Do you wait a day to answer? Like, how do you do that?
Well, before I used to be hostage to my phone and I would respond immediately. Now there's some conversations when you're having a great conversation and you want to keep responding.
Right.
Now I don't respond. Like I don't, and you've noticed this if you message me, I don't respond right away because I don't go through my messages throughout the day. So there will be specific things I'm looking for. So like if I have a new coach, I look for that. If it's usually somebody on our team, I'll look for that. But that's the only reason why they're strung along. If you are in a good conversation and you are in a space where you can keep that going, keep it going. But my conversations die as well. Like sometimes there's just not an opportunity to share, you know, and that's perfectly normal because you're going into it without the intentions of expecting anything in return, right? You just want to leave that conversation better than when it started. You want to leave that person's life better than it was before you started that conversation.
Right.
Then they're going to follow you, you know? And usually a week later, like if I have a challenge group coming up and I felt like I really connected with that person, I will send them an invite and just be like, I thought of you. Like, I really enjoyed our conversation and I'd love to like have more of you in my life. And we're going to focus on clean eating, nutrition, whatever.
Right.
Then I would do that.
Okay. Yeah. And that's kind of what I've been doing, but I'm like, well, geez, I'm doing that within, you know, weeks. Like I usually on my spreadsheet, I look up 3 weeks when I do my like just cold invites. I usually like to do that with people I've had long conversations with. So I go back like 3 weeks usually and start with those people and kind of filter down. So
yeah, and I think that's perfect. Like if that's working, like go with it. What I do doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right way to do it.
Oh, it is.
No. No.
I mean, I had a,
Real Housewives is at Heather Dubrow, and she's like,
you kind of are like Heather
try
Dubrow.
it your way. Then if it doesn't work, try it mine, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I just love this. I mean, I think the other thing that people can take away that I don't do well are the groups, like really being active in groups. And I tried to do, I'm going to give a really quick warning that I tried to do how I'd been trained. I'd been in a training and they suggested like engaging with someone and then adding them as a friend and like messaging them about like a comment that they made or whatever. And I'm pretty sure I didn't get a notification, but Facebook doesn't allow me to like add people anymore. And I was doing like the standard, like strangers who like have no connection to me. Very rarely can I add them. Like if they like my page, I can, but it was kind of a good warning. Like I'm sure there was probably someone who was like, I don't know this lady. And there wasn't enough of a relationship there. So I just want to, because I know that I shied away from it after that. Cause I'm like, I don't know what happened. And like, so anyways, that was scary for me. And I'm having a hard time coming back from that, but I think I wish I did better. So I'm going to try.
Well, and with that, I don't know about Facebook blocking, and that's tough because I know you and I know you're not like spamming people. But when you are in those groups, don't feel like you have to be the person. So like if you join a group about dogs, don't feel like you have to be the person leading, asking questions. I'm in a group and there's a Beachbody coach in there. And she just like, to me, it's like annoying. Like, I'm like, she answers every question. She's like, and don't feel like you have to be that person because I think people can tell that they're looking, at least I can, maybe that's because I'm a coach. I like really just go in. If I need to connect with a new person that day, I go in, I find something that I can add value to and then do it. Now that could be a piece where they maybe didn't know you. So you have a unique situation, Christy. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's not unique. I think I got overexcited about the idea and wasn't putting enough, like I would like comment on one thing and then be like, oh, we should be friends, Yep. And I wasn't doing it right. So I just wanted to say, I think we should do it your way. And I wasn't doing it right. So
I'm sure I did.